This video is going to be covering a few different principles. The first of which is setting up your own financial operating system. This is for yourself as an individual. We're not setting up the trust today. We're not setting up a business. We're setting up the wallet addresses that allow you to budget your life, but to do so in an automated fashion without any trace of your identity being a part of your budgeting. Ask lots of questions as we go through. And let's begin. When you have a brand new Brave window, not a tab, but a brand new window, you want to go up into the top right of the screen. That's the little menu that you want to click on right there, that hamburger menu. When you click on that, you'll see going down, there's all these different options. You want more tools. And then from there, you'll see the little window pop out, and you can click on Add New Profile. When I click this, it creates a whole new window with the opportunity to name this digital identifier, this Brave profile. So in this case here, I'm going to call it this. This is my typical name that I would use if I was to be playing video games. And since the financial monetary system that we get to use on a day-to-day basis is just a video game in-game currency, I'm going to use my gaming username just as my own identifier. This is never displayed publicly anywhere. After that, I'm going to click the color, and I'm just going to grab this tan one. Click done. So now I have here, I'm going to bring it down so people can see it. So now I have here a brand new window. This is the brand new profile in Brave, ready to go. So now that I'm here, the first thing that I want to do is get the wallet that I'm going to be using. And I'm going to create my keys. So the wallet that I want is called Eternl.io. That's the website. And of course, this is what it looks like. They've been making a lot of updates to this wallet that have made it incredibly more user-friendly. Click Start Setup. And here is where you will set up the app that is being installed on your Brave profile. Okay? The app itself has so many different languages. So here you want to make sure that it's going to be displayed in a language that is for you, and the formatting region. So what do you want the date, time, numbers, what do you want them to appear as? You can change that to be more European if you want, or if there's a specific country that you're familiar with, you would use that format of numbering. Now, I'm just going to go to the United States there, and the currency, I'm going to be keeping it as USD for myself, but that's just because most of the work that I'm doing is very largely looking at the assets in comparison to the US dollar. That's my own preference because I believe that the Canadian dollar will not be performing nearly as well as the US dollar. So I'm going to keep it on the US dollar, but here, if you want another fiat currency, they've got lots to pick from here. And then there's simple mode and pro mode. Today we're just going to go with simple mode, but in pro mode, this is where you would get into things like if you wanted to create a corporation that had 30 different accounts. That would be where you'd want to go. We're just going to go with simple, and we're obviously going to be using the Cardano mainnet. Here you create your PIN code and you click next, and then it says please confirm. So now what you've done here is that you've created a PIN code that is written to your computer. This is not stored anywhere. This is encrypted to your computer. If you were to close Eternl and open it back up again, you have to put this in order for anything to be displayed. So it's like that, the password that you would put on your computer. So when you move the mouse and the screensaver disappears, you put in that password. Same principle here. This is going to be your quick PIN in order to see your assets. Clicking next, it asks, well, how do you want to get started here? What type of wallet do you want to use? And in this case, you can connect your Ledger, Trezor, or cold storage wallets. Entering a seed phrase would be if you've already got a wallet that you want to bring the assets over and view them within this window, you can do that by entering a seed phrase. Or then there's the multi-sig wallet. This would be if you wanted to create, say, a PMA or a DAO. Here you would create a multi-signature wallet, which requires more than one signature for the transaction to go through. This is going to be especially helpful later on. You can import from backups, you can upload keys if you've got paper keys, that kind of thing. In this case here, I'm going to create a new wallet. Now when I click this button, it's going to display all of these numbers and I'll cloud them out. But there we go. These are the numbers. And here is where we take the time to write it down. The way that I do this is I write my keys down into a notebook. It looks like this. This isn't actually the book, but this is a journal. And the reason I do it that way is because I've got 2-3 journals like this, and I have notes from things that I've built and ideas and rabbit holes and squirrels that I've written about in these books throughout time. And so I have them indexed by month, year, that kind of thing, so that if I ever wonder whatever happened to that key, I can go back to the time where I started that. Where did I start that account? When was that? Oh yeah, that was around 2022. I'll look through that book to find it. So that's a way that I can encrypt the knowledge of where the key is.
Got it.
So now I'm writing these down. And I write them down in an order that I know. So I do not number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do not number them and then write the number next to it. Why not?
It makes it too easy for someone to go, oh, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3.
That's right. If anybody ever opens up my book and they see the passphrases, they're not going to know which order to enter it in. So you start at 1, go to 2, 3, but then make your next word number 4, number 5, number 6, and then go to the next line. So you might do it that way. Format this in such a way that it makes the most sense for you. Okay, so I have gone ahead, written them down. The next step, this is a beautiful thing, is that it does force you to check whether or not you've written them down accurately. Because once this opens, you start using this thing, and then you lose that key. There's no retrieving it, ever. So to make sure you have full possession over this property, the next button makes it where you have to go and recite the words. So I go and I pick the first word. That's the first one I wrote down. There it is. What's the second word? So on and so forth. So now I've confirmed that I have the key. The next prompt here is, how many accounts do you want? And this is where we get to have some fun in creating these multiple accounts with which you can manage your personal finance. In this wallet here, in this demonstration, I'm going to be creating a total of 6 accounts. Actually, you know what? I'm going to create 7, and I'll show you how I do this. 7. The name of the wallet, I'm just going to call it the username of my Brave profile. That way I'm always consistent with the identifiers that I use for myself. Again, this is never displayed publicly. Next thing is set your spending password. This is the password that will be required for any transaction to be authorized. This is different from your PIN. The PIN is for you to open your wallet. The spending password is for you to take assets out of it. Now we're in Eternl. Similar to if you were to sign into your online banking, you've got a dashboard where you can do different things. You can facilitate different types of transactions. The difference between this in, say, an online banking scenario, is that within this platform, you will never need to ask permission to create anything, any movement. Whereas with your online banking, every time you click a button, the message goes to that centralized location and confirms whether or not you have permission to conduct that transaction. Every single time. Here, in this operating system, in this dashboard, I should say, we're creating the operating system using this dashboard. But within this dashboard here, any action you take with your equity does not require anyone's permission. Ultimately, it's self-governance. But sometimes we've got to use other language patterns so that people recognize the implications behind what that self-governance means. So, in order for us to create these different accounts, let's discuss what the purpose of these different accounts are. This is account number 0. You can see it there labeled account #0. In the top left corner, when you click on the, looks like your profile, that opens up a little pop-up here. And here you can see, got clausus. I'm going to click on that. And in here, I can manage all of the 7 accounts that I said I wanted to manage when I opened up this wallet. Click to select any one of them. I'm on this number 0. It's labeled clausus number 0. I'm going to keep that one clausus because that's the account that I would be saying to someone, oh, hey, you can send me money there. When the money is sent here, I'm going to be creating a smart contract to automatically set aside the money that comes in for the various buckets for my budget. And that's what the other 6 accounts are for. Those are the buckets. So money comes into my account, and then immediately it will spread off and split off into these various accounts automatically. This is where we get that anonymity from. If I'm going to be spending something, if I'm going to be spending money on something, I need to consider first which account is going to be making this expense. That's going to be categorized by the activity that I'm taking on or the capacities that I'm expressing at that time. So we're going to start off. Clausus is the main one. That'll be where people deposit money or contracts send transactions. The next account, number 1, this account, I'm going to rename it the first bucket. And this is called the necessity account. The necessities account are going to be things that need to be paid no matter what. These are the hard costs. These are your phone bills, your internet bills, the things that you absolutely must have to operate your life. That'll be necessities. And when you are creating these contracts, the ratio that is most highly recommended by wealthy people is to put 50% into your necessities account. So when money comes in, we're going to be programming it to automatically send 50% over to this wallet. The next wallet, number 2, rename this one. When I click on that, it brings up this little pop-up menu, and I'm going down to rename account. And there comes up with the default account number 2. This account is called long-term savings, and I just go LTS for short because, again, I know what it means. Long-term savings. If you got to save up for a laptop, or you got to save up for a new TV, or you need to save up for a new health regime, if you can't get that thing without 3 months or more of that 10%, you can't afford it. This is your long-term savings. The purpose of this is to save up for something that takes more than 90 days to accumulate. The next account, number 3. Again, clicking on the little button, going to go rename it. Account number 3 is called investments. Investments. Again, 10% is going to go into investments, and the purpose of investments is to grow. This is where you would be allocating money for precious metals. This is where you'd be allocating money towards emerging markets. Things that are going to, in the long term, provide you growth, where your money is working for you. That's what these are. You're making investments. Investments are risks. Evaluating your risk is always the key to having your account grow. Right now, there's very little risk going into cryptos, simply because those are the means by which data companies will be tokenizing their resources. So if you want to use their special computers, you're going to need to pay them. And that's going to be with cryptocurrencies. So we see this as an emerging market because it's now just emerging. It has been for a couple of years now, but it just really is the bottom, the base of an exponential curve. Metals, though, that's also at a base of an exponential curve. So anything where your money can grow, that's the purpose of the investments. Next one, number 4. This one is a giving account. The giving account is exactly that. You're setting aside 10%. And the purpose of that is for you to be generous, for you to show your gratitude with your wealth, of your wealth, by letting your cup floweth over. Number 5. This one is the play account. This one should never have money in it longer than 90 days. So what I talked about before, the LTS, long-term savings, that's when you need to save up for something that's going to take you more than 90 days. But the play account needs to be spent. Think of it as these tokens expire, and if I don't spend them, they're not worth anything. That's a good mentality to have when it comes to your play.
If we don't play, we burn out.
We all do.
Yeah.
That's been stifled out of us. All right. Account number 6. Rename that one.
What's the percentage on play?
10%. Then we have the last account, education. Again, 10%.
I can see the real challenge for me to differentiate my play with my education, because my education is very playful. I enjoy it deeply.
The play is to experiment. Find things that you would normally never spend money on because of how much judgment you would hold toward yourself for spending it. That is the perfect thing to do with a play account. Education. If you're going to have fun doing it and you're going to learn something in the process, spend liberally with a Y. Now, if you wanted to add more accounts, if you've got other things that you need to do, you can keep on adding accounts and just pull the percentages out of necessities because they're needs for you. These other ones, they gotta stay at 10%, otherwise you're not maintaining your life. You're not saving up for anything big. You're not advancing. You're not stretching. You're not investing. You're clearly not giving. You're not playing. Your life is going to be out of balance if you're not doing these things. If you're not learning new things, if your mind is not expanding, you might as well be dead. If you want to add more accounts, you can click on Manage Accounts right here. When that happens, you've got the ability now to change all kinds of different things. You can change the index, meaning what order in the lineup do I want these accounts to look at. There is where you can change the index. Saying, I want this to be in place of giving, and then giving will bump up. So you're inserting it into the list. Whenever you're ready, share your screen, and we'll go through all the steps to create a new Brave profile, start up an Eternl wallet, and create the accounts. It would be best. Entire screen is going to be
Okay.
best. All right. Perfect. So you can minimize this window. Up in the top right, you'll see where, yep, you can click on that. And down at the bottom, you'll see Add Brave Profile. Perfect. Here, it opens up that new window for you to identify. All right. Now, you can go to Eternl. All right, so things are syncing up here. Welcome to Eternl. Go ahead and click Start Setup. So here's the application setup. I don't know if you want to go with USD or Canadian, but you can change the currency there.
Yeah, no, I'll stay with USD.
All right, so this is the PIN code. I think you can go as many as you want. 4 is the minimum. Now we'll let you in to come and look at things. Here, and of course, it asks to save. Never save passwords with this profile. At least I wouldn't. All right. Now you can create a new one, and that's going to be the best option for this. And now I'm going to bring your screen down because then that saves me having to do edits. You're going to click the next button, like button that reveals the words in accordance with their numbers. This is where you got to write it down.
Yep.
I usually write down first, and then I go back and scan to make sure I got it right before I go to the next screen, because that's where it's going to ask me to confirm that I got them right.
Okay, so I'm just reviewing what I've written. Got it.
Yep. And then when you click next, that'll take you to the screen where it will begin prompting you for confirmation on various words. When it's all ready to go, you can move on to the next stage there, and it should come up with the opportunity to create your password.
Okay, it's gotten, oh, there, it's moving. Oh, there it is. Painfully slow. Okay, so then.
Well, what that was, this is the thing about Eternl, is that this is creating the equivalent of a cold storage wallet on your device.
Ah.
So now, great. And anytime you wanted to change the account that you're viewing, you click in the top left, and that'll bring them all up. Right now, you're viewing number 2, the long-term savings.
Top left is in the Eternl one, or the top left as the Pistis Space?
Yes, as your account profile. Yeah.
Okay, and then that takes me into my wallet. Okay, got it.
Now, when you click, now right now, again, like I say, right now you are on long-term savings. So practice switching to a different account. There we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So that changes that first pinned board there where it says Pistis Space.
Right.
You can adjust that. So when you go and click on long-term savings, it'll display long-term savings right there. No matter what wallet you're clicking on, you will see the type. Think of it as a hierarchy. There are accounts. That's what Pistis Space is.
Right.
And then inside that account, you've got 7 wallets.
Okay. Hold on, let's just go here.
So now the Necessities wallet is active.
Okay. I like that the only one that's up and on the screen is the active one.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can only manage 1 wallet at a time. You can't manage more than 2 at a time unless you're automating it with the smart contracts.
Right.
And there you have it. You are now all set up. You did it faster than I did.
That's just because I saw what you were doing, and it all made sense. Okay, so now then here in Eternl, where do I go to log out?
I'll bring it up so you can see on my screen where it is. Up in the top here, there's that little lock button right there.
Ah, okay, yeah.
That little lock icon,
yeah,
that will log you out instantly. No questions asked. Instant log out, and you got to put your PIN to open it back up.
Got it. Cool. So then with tomorrow's midnight and what we discussed earlier, I guess that's a discussion off camera about moving resources around so that when midnight opens, that there's something there to purchase with.
Yeah, leading up to that time, you just send me this your wallet address, and then I can go to your investment and I can just pull that little bit out, send it over to your Eternl wallet, and you can make the purchase that day.
Cool.
That way, I'm not doing it for you anymore. Oh, not
For
that I
now,
don't mind.
I don't mind either. Yes, because yeah, no, I don't mind, and I do need the education. I
Yeah.
think this will be a great place for me to start getting
Oh,
comfy with
this.
the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And this is where we're gonna go next. Is okay. So now you got your Eternl, right? I said that these were the accounts. I can add a new account, so I can manage Clauseus. But now I can be like, oh, what if I wanted to, from the same operating system, manage Man Known as Paul, or Danis Guild, or Next Gen Merchants? I can just keep on adding accounts, and they all have their own sub wallets.
Ah,
So I can have an entire operating system for all my finances managed in one Eternl wallet.
yeah, I would like to do that too. Get who is she? Oh, the experimenter.
Yep, that one. Yes, we're gonna get them all in there.
Yes. Okay, that's really
Awesome.
cool.
Okay, cool. That's it.
Great.
That's the video for today.
Perfect.